Ndi Kato, let me come to you. You hear that, I mean, and it's something we've heard a lot, you know, from people who are members of the APC and supporters of the APC saying, whatever the case is, the one thing the APC seems to know how to do is win elections. Labour Party, on the other hand, doesn't seem to, you know, have a track record of that. How do you respond to that?
I mean, what we have is a people-led movement. The people have said repeatedly that they are running for president through Peter Obi. So the conversation about structures and all of that, I dare say that Labour Party and the young people and, you know, all the people invested in the Labour Party at the moment have made elections so much more difficult. The process of campaigning is so much more difficult for traditional parties because places where they could go to and just have a flimsy crowd and, you know, people would overlook. Now they have to pay extra, and this is something that Labour gets for free. And I'm wondering, like, when we keep saying that, oh, those are not, you know, these are not the voters, elections are not social media, and you look at these people using their own funds to come out, organizing by themselves. The candidate doesn't even have to show up to these places. His campaign committee has not done as much work as people who have done on ground, and you're seeing so much being led by Nigerians, and we're still denying and saying, oh, we can't see what's happening. This is a movement of the people. The people have decided. Every day when I go to the market, yesterday I was at the market, Garki Market in Abuja, and I still ask questions, and these people are like, look, somebody went as far as saying that, look, even food, like, she's not going to labor and cook food for somebody who's not going to vote the right way. It's something that has caught on so much. People are organizing. For many Nigerians, this is their first major foray into active politics. Majorly, they just show up and vote on that day. But right now, we see Nigerians organizing. It's a different way of politicking. I understand that people who are used to traditional politicking, traditional political parties, and traditional, you know, way of doing things in the way that it happens, and all of those structures and the monies that go down to water and oil, those structures, are not used to seeing things like this, are not used to seeing an organic movement like this, and they may have their doubts. But, Ebuka, these doubts have been cleared time and again. Building up to the campaigns, building up every single step of the way, there have been doubts. Oh, you cannot do this. And these people tell you, Labour Party supporters, Peter Obi supporters tell you, we can. And they go ahead and organize and do it. You can do it this way. They go ahead and organize and do it. And right now, these young people, these people who are actively involved in this campaign, young and old, have gone a step further. Look, we're going to take our platform. We're going to focus on the flooding in Nigeria because we need to bring empathy to this. They're donating monies, bringing different things, going into canoes and going to these places like the candidate is doing. All of these things are happening, things that we've not seen before. We cannot continue to pretend that what we are seeing is normal and that, oh, this normal thing has been happening before and there's nothing special in it. Of course, there's something special. There's a change, there's a seismic shift in the manner of politicking, in the manner in which people engage elections, and it's something that I'm really happy about. This shows that there won't be voter apathy. This shows that something is going to change in these elections, and Peter Obi is going to carry the day.
I mean, it's easy to say there's a movement, and I think we all can see that. And yes, it is away from social media because we've seen people walk the streets and all of that. But when you talk about money and you say, oh, they have the money to oil this, you know, the system, and they might have, or the other parties might have the money to oil the system. Money is extremely important in politics, regardless of who you are. So how is that supposed to work when you are saying, you know, you're fighting a money battle, but money doesn't matter? Is that what you're saying?
So I remember engaging in the women's program, and I said, look, Obi's candidacy is an opportunity for, you know, even minority groups, that is in terms of elections, or endangered groups in terms of elections, that is women and young people, to get into politics, because once people are emotionally invested, they bring their own. And this is how elections are supposed to be run, right? We're not supposed to have a few money bags who own political parties bringing out their monies, and then at the end of the day, it's like making an investment. They make an investment, personal investment though, not altruistic, personal investment. They make this investment into the elections, and then at the end of the day, when their candidate wins, they hope to recoup it via contracts and other forms of corruption. But what we are seeing happen, and that has made it very difficult for other candidates who do not have this kind of money or this kind of money bags behind them. And these money bags, of course, are rent seekers from the system, people who have benefited from the Nigerian system, from corruption, of course. This has gone round and round. It's been a very vicious cycle. And now we have people understanding that, look, if we have people invested in my campaign, invested in my elections, they will bring out funds by themselves. They will contribute. They will look for how to bring this. And this is the kind of election we're looking for, where people volunteer their time, their energy, their effort. I have people from several parts of the world asking, and so at some point you even have to tell them, you can't donate to the major campaign itself. And like, what can I do? Anywhere I am, I want to see a change in Nigeria. I want to bring my own funds. Young people with next to no money are saying, look, I'll volunteer my time and energy. This is where the money goes into. That in other political parties, you have to pay for this. In other political parties, for somebody to shift from point A to point B, you have to pay for it a lot of the time. For people to show up for rallies, all of those T-shirts, all of those things, you have to pay for those things for people to come out. Water, money for water, all of those things, mobilization. mobilization, as they call it. There are people who are even in charge of that to make sure that these people come out. But at this point, we're seeing that, look, you just announced, look, we're gathering at this place and people will come out with their own funds. That's where the money goes into, Ebuka. That's where the money goes into. Unless we're now saying, oh, there's also money used to rig elections, which of course is very illegal and shouldn't be happening. But everything that is happening organically, when we talk about money, that is where the money should be going to. And Peter Obi is getting it for free. So when we say money elections, look, that is because people are not emotionally invested, but right now we have that, and that is the thing that Peter Obi has over other candidates.
All right. Now, your candidate, on the other hand, your candidate is accused of, I don't know if overexposure is the word, because it looks like, you know, the more interviews he grants, the more he gets statistics wrong or numbers wrong and all of that, you know. He's suddenly been tagged as the guy who drops numbers and data that's usually verified and seen as wrong, you know. And the question is there a team behind him who, you know, is helping fix this? Because it doesn't look very good for him, does it?
So there was this video where he was having this conversation where he said, look, this is less of I'm getting this wrong and more of there are several organizations that release this data. And perhaps he needs to start quoting NBS, National Bureau of Statistics, because that is the one that people recognize. So he doesn't quote another organization and people say, oh, National Bureau of Statistics says this. And I believe that video was self-explanatory. It's even I, who seems to be quite verbose when I'm on TV, I realize that, look, the standard that Peter Obi has set is very, very difficult to follow and to keep up with. This man pulls these things off the top of his head. We can't see the most engaging the presidential candidate Nigeria has had in a long time, in fact, ever, and start, you know, oh, okay, today he didn't add one extra zero to the numbers that he should have added. The truth is, if you look at the conversations that he's trying to have, the conversations are true. These things are true. So, again, there might be, the discrepancy there might be that one organization has released one different figure and another released this different figure, and people are banking on it to say Peter Obi is lying. But he's not. Whatever he's quoting, wherever he's bringing examples from, these things are actually happening there. These things are happening there, and it is good. It is a healthy thing for us to rely on statistics and data for our conversations. So to look at the one person that is bringing that into the conversation and try to dog him, to try to make fun of him, instead of, look, let us build on this and say, look, okay, he's bringing this to the conversation. This is healthy to the conversation. This is the routes that we should go, and the more we press, the more we are able to get more correct data. We should get other candidates to join in and bring this. Instead, we are going to say, oh, the one person who is bringing this to the conversation should not be, or he's a liar and all of that. I don't think so. I don't think that that is the correct approach. I think that the best approach to this is to encourage it, to make sure that they do more of this speaking from data and facts.
We literally have 30 seconds. I want to get this from you and, of course, from Moyo very, very quickly. Looking at the months ahead and, of course, February in particular, 2023, are you worried or are you excited about what's to come? Very quickly.
A little bit of both. On one hand, I'm hoping that there's legitimacy for the election, that INEC does what it's supposed to do, and that institution stays strong, because that's what we need, a strong INEC to give us a flawless election where people who go to vote, their votes will count. That is what Nigerians are worried about. And on the other hand, I'm very excited. We're seeing a new way of politicking, new way of doing things, an election that has been more than ever focused on the issues and people making their own time and effort, bringing out all of their energies, doing all they can, taking off their time off from work to make sure that they see Peter Obi at the seat of the presidency to deliver services to the people. This is a very exciting election, and I'm looking forward to February.
Moyo, same question to you. I mean, the APC is in power now. The whole idea is for the people in power to continue, I believe, in your mind. Are you excited for what's to come? Are you worried, seeing how the landscape is? You know, talking about insecurity, talking about INEC, talking about the opposition. You know, what are your thoughts in the months ahead?
Well, first of all, I'm not worried about the opposition at all. I can tell you again that my candidate, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, will win the election with a landslide. Ebuka, we're going to come back here and have this conversation. For me, Asiwaju has the spread. Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has done so much for this country, and he deserves that seat. For me, come 2023, we're going to win the election, and we're going to defeat all opposition parties.
Well, good luck to everyone. Thank you very much, Moyo. Thank you very much, Ndi Kato, for joining us from Abuja. We're all keeping our fingers crossed and hopeful, you know, that things go smoothly. We're all excited. I mean, it's a very, very interesting campaign season, but a very long campaign season. And we're all hoping that by February, we're all smiling and the best man gets the job across board. Thanks for joining us. I'll see you next Sunday. Please be safe out there. And my name is Ndi Kato. Take care.